Then sometimes I know of another place when he hired some consultants for us from the US who were doing surveys, who were doing quite a lot of professional work.
David Axelrod and all of those.
I don't know their names. I just know that they were
Obama campaign people.
Obama people, and they came
David
and they transformed our campaign. And I knew that the money he paid them was in excess of 2 billion Naira equivalent, in dollars. And there's another.
Late evening of Tuesday, July 28, 2026 is today. Good evening, everyone. I've not seen time to talk about the video of Babachir Lawal, the interview he granted with this Niger gist. And a lot of people are not looking into the bullet points of that interview. There are some allegations made by the former secretary of the government of the Federation. That is the first part you just listened to in this video. All right. I personally believe that as an elderly man that Mr. Lawal is, he will not gain anything by telling lies. No, he don't have anything to gain from it. So I believe what he's saying is the truth. Because I know this man right from time, okay? Because that period, things were, I know the role he played, how he was at the forefront of so many things that was going on. So I believe what he was saying. He was the secretary to the government of the Federation under Buhari, right? He said Tinubu gave US 2 billion. I tried to calculate the value of 2 billion Naira 2014-2015, and it's there about 10 point something billion Naira today. That is the value. So that is the money he gave them, for you to understand. About 10 billion Naira, not million. So let's look deeper into this. The Obama's people that came, you know, in my other video, I told you people what transpired in 2014-2015. When these people came from America, a president sent you into another country. You did not see the president of that country. You move to see Buhari, you see Sultan of Sokoto, you see Rotimi Amechi. Goodluck Jonathan knew that something is actually wrong. Something was wrong as at then. Now, that is not what I'm trying to make people to think in this video. I'm trying to make you understand that if Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, okay, who is now the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if he could pay 2 billion, or let me say 10 point something billion with the value of today, that is not the only money he spent, according to this video you're about to watch from this Babachir Lawal. If Tinubu could pay such amount of money to the US consultants who are representing Obama as of 2014-2015, just for Buhari to defeat Jonathan, now he is the president. Do you think there is anything Tinubu would not do because of 2027 election? Do you think that if they bring out someone, they say this is just what this man is going to do, do you think there is anything that will prevent Tinubu? There is anything he can't do? If far back 2015, not because he is going for president, because his party, he is now the national leader. He was the leader of ACN before they met with CPC. Buhari is now leader of CPC, who is going for president. Automatically, Tinubu becomes their national leader. If he could do such thing, then do you think that this 2027, that thinking that Tinubu somehow something will happen by your own vote? I know. I want us to think reality. You know the reason why I'm saying this? I took time to talk with so many people since yesterday, you know, people in the political circle, especially people in the opposition NDC. What so many of them are saying is that Nigerians are hungry, Tinubu must be removed. And I was telling them that, first of all, I don't believe that political regime change is going to change Nigeria with this structure. I don't believe that. However, to remove Tinubu is not by Tinubu must go. To remove Tinubu from office, I'm not trying to demoralize people. You understand? I like to talk reality out of issues. I have not seen what someone is going to do that will remove Tinubu. Is it your vote? If it is your vote, I know that people would say it's either you rig or you die. Okay? I don't know how it's going to be. No problem. Let's give it a try. Everybody should try it out. But you see, I used to tell people that 2023 seems to be the last chance people had. The last chance not because they did not rig the election, But the atmosphere was ready for a revolution. The atmosphere was ready that anything that happened, the evidence of the justification is there. Yeah, because we knew that the election was rigged. And that time, the person in question is not in office. So they had opportunity to stop all these, jihadists not to be killing us. But as far as I'm concerned, the APC administration brought them and they are permitting them to do that. There was an opportunity for people to have stopped the jihadist activities that is going on in Nigeria, this killing and all those things. We had the opportunity, but the opportunity was sold. It was sold to, should I say, cowardness or lack of knowing what is going to happen in the future. Now, the influence of America in Nigeria, if you like, underrate it. If you like, don't underrate it. And that is why someone like Tinubu is not underrating the influence of America in Nigeria. They know America can kill, they can save in Nigeria. They can put somebody in power, they can remove somebody in power. If you don't know what happened in Nigeria right from the day Trump made that statement that he's coming into Nigeria with guns blazing, if you know what had gone wrong since then, if you know the kind of lobby, what is going on, the kind of money Nigeria is moving to Washington, this is not an allegation. I'm not alleging it, okay? If you know the kind of money Nigeria is moving into Washington, lobbying, all those things, you will close your mouth. What are they doing it for? Insecurity, to cover up that all is well, to do everything just to pretend. But you know what? If Tinubu comes back the second term, people will cry. People will cry. People will cry because the man will be careless. Like, I don't care. People should go to hell. The man will be careless. See, someone who is seeking for election is telling you must go through pain. He don't even care now, talk less of them. He's telling you that I'm a stubborn person. If people are dying, you can't use it to disturb my political something. It is politicians that are sponsoring them. You don't even care whether you die or not. You see? What is coming ahead, it is somehow. But I'm telling you that Tinubu, who pays such amount of money to US in 2015, you should know what is going on by now. So, what are you doing? Political regime change can't change Nigeria. I'm saying it now so that tomorrow you'll bear me witness. It is not going to change anything in Nigeria. It is all about structure. It is all about structure. That is why everybody who have agitated that Nigeria is not good like this, all of them requested for restructuring, both that time of Ojukwu, both Nnamdi Kanu, and the rest of them, including this Asari Dokubo now that has, been following, other way, right, other than the Asari Dokubo, what made him popular before, okay? Everybody had time in the past demanded for restructuring. And what do they mean by restructuring? Restructuring they were demanding was like, this region or this state, this ethnicity, anything that belongs to you, secure your area, have your own police, have your own security, control your resources, something like that. That is the vision of the restructuring. But you could remember when Kassim Shettima said restructuring my food. So the restructuring, what it means to some persons from northern Nigeria is totally different thing. So they don't want such thing. They want for Abuja to be controlling everything. Why? Because they feel that the power belongs to them. Anyway, what Babachan Lawa said is not something you should joke with.
After Buhari won the ticket, there was no issue of campaign funding. And Buhari is not a money person. Anytime, even in meetings, you discuss money, Buhari will be looking at the ceiling. Anytime they say leaders should contribute something, Buhari develops deaf ears. Money is not his comfort zone at all. So we got to a stage we needed money. And Temi Presilva, my friend, and who I knew through Buhari, told me that we could raise the money because he's very well in good books, so many of the Nigeria's rich men. So we made an appointment to see one of the big-time rich people. And we went to him. he didn't want to be seen by us. But then we were popular Buhari people.
Yeah, exactly.
So we entered a boat, his yacht, and we took off to the high seas, and we did the discussion.
On the high seas.
And he agreed to support. So when we came out of the boat, there was this policeman that saluted Timi Presilva in Ijo language, and my friend became depressed. From that moment, he said, I want to go back to the hotel, and he said, what? Dinner? I couldn't even eat dinner. What happened to you? I said, we had a good news, we should celebrate. He said, no, he said, that's Sergeant. He's from Bayelsa. He's Goodluck's cousin. And anytime Goodluck wants to get something on you, that guy is the one they post to you. So this our meeting would have reached the president here by now. And it did. Before we go to Lagos, they had called that man. He got in Abuja before us, and insulted him and threatened him and that. So, and you know, these rich men, they have a club, a cult-like club.
Yes.
They want each other. So from that day, nobody who is rich would pick our phone. So I became confused and I went to...
Sorry, Sir. So the Goodluck government threatened that
Billionaire
was meant to finance
backed off. Of course. Wow. He did not even back off. He jumped into the sea. And so couldn't get any man again. Wow. So I went to Bola. I said, Oga, see what happened? But you now, you are their friend. You deal with them, you are in the same circle. Can you help us in this matter? And he did. And through him, we were able to raise sufficient funds to do the campaign. Not only did he do that, Oshibanjo's portion of the campaign, he funded it. He hired a jet for all the trip, funded the trip, because Oshibanjo's campaign was a little bit broken away from the main campaign, because his own was as a pastor, and the ethnic nationalities and Christians had some doubts about Buhari, so Oshibanjo was, that side, it's not our own area, and he was just doing sort of semi-independent of the main campaign. And Bola was funding it. And then sometimes I know of another place when he hired some consultants for us from the US who were doing surveys, who were doing quite a lot of professional work.
David Axelrod and all of those.
I don't know their names. I just know that they were
Obama campaign people.
Obama people, and they came and they transformed our campaign. And I knew that the money he paid them was in excess of 2 billion Naira equivalent, in dollars. And there's another thing about the Bola. If there's a need for an expenditure, no matter how massive, he doesn't come to the campaign post. He spends from his own purse. All these things I told you, some people don't know this, but I was there. Yes. And I knew this. And he did all these things left, right, and center. And then, for example, you notice how suddenly Buhari was wearing suit. Suddenly Buhari was wearing Yoruba. He didn't like, but all that Bola brought those people, we coerced him to, and change the trajectory of the campaign. Through those his people. So that is through him. What is a human? And it's a decent guy. So I'm the only person that can confront him with these facts. He will not say, I don't know. He will not say it's a rumor because I was there.